The summer before last, Jake and I started dating. I was new in town, and he was very attentive, very interested. And I cared about him a lot. There was even a time after I got more involved that I thought he was going to ask me to marry him.
Yeah, but that didn't happen until later, right?
No. A lot happened in between.
Tell us about the in-between, Mrs. McKinney.
I was pretty naive back then. I thought he cared about me as much as I cared about him. And that went on for a while. And then I realized he was just using me.
How?
It became clear that he was still very interested in his ex-wife, Marley.
Wait. Let me get this clear. Jake was dating you to get his ex-wife back?
Yes. He loved her. He just wanted me for my money.
Go on.
I'd just been accepted as a Corey. And because of that, I stood to inherit a lot of money. I had some of that money even back then, and I was giving some of it to Jake. And then I realized what was going on. Jake kept asking for my money, and I told him I didn't have any more yet. And I finally cut him off.
And then what happened?
Jake did some digging.
On you?
Oh, yeah. He got a hold of some papers from the adoption agency in Chicago where I came through as a child. He said those papers proved that I wasn't really a Corey.
Did they?
They raised some questions. I know now that it really didn't matter. I found out who I really am on the day I married him.
Paulina, let's not jump ahead.
I was really paranoid about losing the family I'd just found. I was desperate to hold on to that, and he knew it. So he blackmailed me for money with those papers.
You just said you didn't have any more money to give to him.
I didn't. But he was so angry, he said that he would go to the Coreys anyway. So that's when I confronted him.
And that he was shot?
Yes. But I never went there intending to hurt him. I just had to get those papers. I had to get them. Anyway, we argued, and it was a bigger fight than usual. He was out of control, in a rage. I kind of knew his studio inside out, so I knew there was a gun in the drawer. I just thought I could scare him. I thought if I got the gun and threatened to use it on him, he'd give me the papers.
Did you ever think that he was going to go to the Coreys, with or without this proof?
Oh, yes. But you see, then it would just be his word against mine. So I pointed the gun at him. I was scared. I was angry. And that's when
Will you listen to me?
Jake!
I told him this. I told him that it was an accident.
What Jake means is that I went...
It was an accident.
Jake, I said sit down.
It was an accident by the sense that I didn't go there planning.
I as much as pulled the trigger myself. You know that's true, Paulina.
Jake.
I already told them. I told them how I taunted you and pushed and pushed.
But
and
I went
pushed
for the
you.
gun myself.
Of course you did. But you never meant to fire. We both know that.
Is that true, Mrs. McKinnon?
Yes.
You were afraid that I would use it, weren't you? I knew you couldn't kill me. And you knew that I was capable of killing you. Tell them you were defending yourself.
Jake, why don't you let her say what she has to say for herself?
The gun went off. Neither one of us meant for it to happen. Tell them that it was a mistake, Paulina.
Is that how it happened, Mrs. McKinnon? Is it? You sure?
Yes. Can I have a glass of water, please?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Captain, can I talk to you outside, please?
What do you think?
I don't buy it, Captain. Not one bit of it.
Okay, you two, just relax. Just relax. Now pick it up from the part where you said you remembered it was Paulina who shot you, Jake.
I had no one. Most of my family, except for Kathleen, had turned their backs on me. Except Paulina, she kept coming to see me. And she was the only one that seemed to care
That's
about...
bull, Jake.
What?
Spare me this Florence Nightingale sob story. She shot you, she put you in a coma, and she kept coming to see you just in case you remembered it was her fault, that she would be standing there with her checkbook in hand before you could run to the cops. Isn't that so, Mrs.
I pushed her over the edge, Captain. Don't you understand? She didn't have a choice.
I'm not ready to buy into that theory.
Why not? You know what I'm capable of. You know what I did to my ex-wife. I'm not above pushing someone to shoot me.
And there were
plenty of other people waiting in line.
Well, answer me this, Mrs. McKinnon. And I said Mrs. McKinnon, not you, Jake.
Yes?
Did you con Jake into marrying?
Oh, for crying out loud!
Shut up, Jake! Shut up! Did you marry Jake to buy him off?
Would we be standing here if that was the case?
Then why are you two married, huh?
Because of everything that happened.
Paulina wanted to help me because she felt responsible for me being laid up in the coma, and I just wanted someone to hold on to. Anyone. So I married Paulina, end of story.
I don't know, Ryan. You think this guy wanted to lay up with the woman that put a bullet in his gun?
The gun went off. It wasn't supposed to. What do I have to tell you to make you believe this?
Why now, huh? Why are you two in here tonight?
We have had this on our backs for over a year. It's time.
It's time
to move on. I won't be pressing charges. I guess you don't have a case.